Alright, today's guide is going to be quick and simple. We're going to be going over short-range missile ammo. So, the best way I could figure out to do this is just to reference the wiki and go over everything. So, I should have organized the tabs. Well, I'll just go through them in the order I have them open. Pretty much all SRM ammo, that's just 1 ton, is going to be 100 shots. So the SRM counter missile ammo is really interesting because it allows you to use your SRMs as AMS, which I believe is similar to an advanced AMS or an AMS Mark II, where it defends everyone in range. The one thing to keep in mind, though, is it only shoots a number of shots equal to the number of SRMs you have, and while each one does 5 damage to missiles, each one can only intercept 1 missile. So if you have an SRM 6, you can only shoot down 6 missiles. It does have a really high intercept chance, but another thing to keep in mind is if you have your SRMs set to use the counter missile ammo, when it's your turn again and you change off of the counter missile ammo, there's an issue where if it fires, usually you can't just immediately swap to another missile and shoot with it. Just one thing to keep in mind. But it is, I find, very good for whenever you have, especially late game, an SRM build while you're closing with the enemy. The anti-missile system, the using it as an anti-missile system is very effective, and it allows you to soak a lot of damage before you get in range to unload. Next up, we have the good old Artemis 4. So, as with all Artemis 4 ammo, whether it be SRMs, MRMs, etc., the Artemis 4 fire control system is required to use it, and the ammo itself gives a evasion pip ignore and accuracy, as well as increased clustering. So, the fire control system, the Artemis 4 fire control system, gives additional cluster chance. I don't remember if the Artemis 4 battle computer does or not, but regardless, the ammunition itself also gives cluster chance. Cluster chance. So, Artemis 4, just generally a more accurate warhead, but it requires the Artemis 4 fire control system or battle computer. LK ammo, on the other hand, gives an increase to accuracy without requiring the Artemis 4 battle computer or fire control system. However, it is more likely to be intercepted by AMS, and very noticeably so. The 40% more likely, I don't know if that's multiplicative or additive, but it definitely, if you're using LK ammo and firing at somebody with AMS, you're probably not going to hit very much. But that's really all there is to be said about LK, is just bonus accuracy, bad against AMS. Whenever it comes to standard ammo, missiles have 3 hit points for SRMs. I believe the SRM ammo has more hit points. It takes more AMS to shoot it down than MRMs or LRMs. But yeah, so default ammo bin, 100 shots. Double bin is going to be 240 shots, so you get the 2 tons worth, which is the 200 shots, and an extra 40 shots. Double bins give 20% extra ammo, so very straightforward there. Then we get to one of the more specialty and fun ammo types for the SRM, is the Infernos. So, Inferno Missiles do 4 heat damage per missile, and that's before being reduced by... I really need to do a heat damage guide at some point, so look for that in the future. But 4 heat damage reduced by various factors, but it's a base of 4. They do 70% reduced damage, which I believe for clan SRMs, that drops it down to 1 damage. Maybe it's 2, but I know Inner Sphere SRMs, it drops it down to like 2 damage. It ignites terrain, and the burn strength and duration means that the burn lasts for 1 round, and it causes 2 heat. So when they take their turn after being hit by Inferno SRMs, they actually generate more heat from being hit by Inferno SRMs. So it's not just the 4 heat damage dealt, it's also an additional 2 per missile when they take. But it says here, target generates 1 heat for 2 turns. But here it says 2 burn strength, 1 burn duration. So maybe the wiki has them reversed, but regardless, it generates additional heat when they take their turn. So Inferno missiles are absolutely amazing for overheating targets. They're by far the most effective whenever it comes to any kind of incendiary or Inferno ammo. The Inferno ammo is always going to be the strongest when it comes to overheating targets. It is worth noting that Inferno ammo is considered volatile, so yeah, it's twice as likely to explode. Next up, we have the good old-fashioned acid. So acid, whenever you're using it, you always want to use whatever weapon is firing acid ammunition as your first weapon fired, because the accuracy of weapons is calculated when you're targeting a person. So if you have a tag or narc beacon or whatever, that's not going to increase the accuracy for the shot or for the alpha strike that you're shooting with. But acid, since damage is calculated when the projectile actually hits, it means if you have acid at the top of your firing order, it'll actually cause that increased damage for everything that fires after it. Now, acid ammo does have an accuracy penalty. It's offset by its usefulness, by the versatility that it offers. Because in addition to causing the target to take additional damage, it also does 50% bonus damage to armor. So it helps melt through and open up mechs faster. And it also does minus 50% damage to structure. So if you're crit seeking, it's actually really good because it'll reduce the amount of structure damage you're dealing while it has the same crit chance. So that's acid in a nutshell. Put it first in the firing order, use it to melt through armor or to seek for crits once the armor is gone. Deadfire ammo. If you like damage, Deadfire is for you. It boosts the damage. So for clan SRMs, that bumps the damage up to 12 damage per missile. And for Inner Sphere LRMs, it bumps it up to 15 damage per missile, which is considerable. It also increases the stability damage by 2. That's not a percentage, that's just plus 2. So Deadfire ammo is the most effective for knocking things down. But it does come with an accuracy penalty and a range penalty. So you need to get in close for Deadfire ammo to be effective. I am going to make another guide over long-range missiles, probably next week. But it's worth noting that since there's no minimum range for SRMs, the only real benefit you get is the bonus damage and stability, and the less likely to be intercepted by AMS. But it only comes with a -1 accuracy, while I believe the LRM comes with a -2 accuracy, but it also reduces the minimum range. So, yeah, as far as SRMs go, Deadfire, great for stability damage and bonus damage. So, if you get in close, Deadfire just ramps everything up. Here we have a half ban, obviously half ton, 50 shots instead of 100. The Magpulse ammo is actually one of my favorite ammo types. It really messes with a target's ability to hit. It also generates heat, and it also does reduce damage. But the big thing with it is it reduces the enemy's cooling efficiency. So if you're already hitting them with like Hydra or Inferno, whatever, and then you hit them with Magpulse as well, it just makes every other type of heat damage more effective. And even if you don't have any other heat damage, if they're already running a little hot, especially like clan mechs, that reduction in cooling efficiency can add up really fast. I mean, it stacks. So you can absolutely destroy a mech's cooling if you hit them with a lot of Magpulse missiles. So for SRMs, the ECM jamming is 2 per missile, the cooling efficiency reduction is 2% per missile, and it's 2 heat damage dealt per missile. It does reduce the missile damage, so it's also good for crit seeking. Pretty much all the specialty ammos, they almost all, except for Deadfire obviously, but they almost all do reduced damage, so if you're looking for crits rather than destruction, it can really help. The quick sell ammo, so yeah. Quick sell ammo is special. It reduces the average damage you deal, but it has a damage variance and contains 110 shots instead of 100. So really suboptimal, but it can be interesting. Again, extra ammo, and the damage variance can cause the missiles to do more damage than they should, but it's a base 10% damage reduction. So Inner Sphere SRMs, that's a 9 base with a 4 damage variance, which means your Inner Sphere SRMs can do anywhere from 5 to 13 damage. So yeah, that's quick sell ammo. Obviously, like most quick sell things, it's suboptimal, but if you have to use it, it's not terrible. Safe ammo has a 95% reduced explosion or explosive potential. So basically, even if it gets crit, the odds of it exploding are next to nothing. There is still a chance, but not nearly as bad. If you just like to live dangerously, then you can ignore safe ammo. And then, finally, tandem ammo. So, I see some people get confused by tandem ammo because it does 4 damage directly to internals, but it does 50% damage. So, if you have them open, then it's actually, well, for Inner Sphere, Inner Sphere SRMs using tandem ammo, it's actually a damage reduction on an open target, because you're only doing a total of 9 instead of a total of 10. Clan SRMs, it's the same. But the big thing with tandem ammo is if you can cluster really well onto a single location, you can just outright destroy a location despite its armor. It's especially effective against vehicles and against mechs that are running, I believe it's called composite structure. It's the structure that reduces your weight, takes no slots, but also reduces your structure values. Tandem ammo absolutely destroys mechs running that. But primarily it's used for cracking vehicles, because most vehicles have around 15-20 structure and just a ton of armor on top of it, so you can very easily, with 5 missiles to the same location, just wreck a tank. It can have several hundred armor, and if you just land several missiles dealing 4 damage directly to internals, all in the same location, you could just bypass all the armor. The other thing that it's incredibly effective for is if you're trying to crit out a mech, if you want the chassis and you want to go for crits without risking just destroying the mech outright, you can use tandem ammo, because so the way through armor crits work is whenever you're shooting a mech, if it has under X amount of armor left based on the weapon you're using. For example, the AC-20 can crit through mass amounts of armor. So yeah, if you're hunting for ammo explosions on an assault mech, you can very easily just get in behind them with an SRM boat with tandem missiles and just potentially crit them, ammo explode them without even having to crack their armor. So tandem ammo, great against vehicles, and great for getting crits without having to bypass the armor, or while bypassing the armor, without having to get through the armor. So crits without having to open them up is nice. So that is the quick and dirty SRM ammo guide. So I'm pretty sure Gauss ammo. I'll just check real quick. Gauss ammo. Pretty sure it's just Gauss, heavy Gauss, light Gauss, mag shot. Oh, there is armor piercing, which is just tandem ammo for Gauss rifles, which is kind of silly. I mean, yeah, it'll one-shot a tank, but other than one-shotting a tank, I mean, you already have such a high through armor crit chance with Gauss rifles that crit seeking with the armor piercing ammo doesn't really make a lot of sense. Also, since it's just one damage instance. But yeah, so I'll just consider this the the SRM and Gauss guide. So Gauss ammo, 8 shots per ton, does not ammo explode, but the Gauss rifle itself does. Double bin is 20 shots, so yeah. And half bin is 4 shots? Yes, 4 shots. And then again, armor piercing is just the tandem for Gauss, but I mean, 30 damage dealt directly to internals basically will one-shot most vehicles. Does reduce the Gauss rifle damage, and again, not great for crit seeking because it's a single damage instance, and regular Gauss ammo has such a high through armor crit threshold that, yeah, basically just use it for tank busting. And yeah, I'll go ahead and quickly go over heavy Gauss and light Gauss as well. Heavy Gauss, 4 shots per ton, also no ammo explosions. Heavy Gauss double is 10 shots per 2 tons, as compared to 8 if you just had 2 heavy Gauss bins. AP, 50 damage directly to internals. Ooh, man, all this loading, jumping around. Light Gauss rifle, 16 shots per ton. Again, light Gauss ammo does not explode. The light Gauss double is 40 shots, and the light Gauss half is 8 shots. And the light Gauss AP still does 20 damage directly to internals, so the majority of tanks, if you hit them, they will just instantly be destroyed by armor piercing ammo. And yeah, that's mag shot 50 shots, and mag shot half is 25 shots. So there we go. I can now say that I covered Gauss ammo. I mean, hyper assault. Might as well. So hyper assault Gauss, 20 shots per ton. Oof. No, don't click the link. Okay. And double bin is 30 shots for the hyper assault Gauss. The railgun doesn't have any special ammo, 4 shots per ton. Does not appear to have a double bin either. Rotary AP large bore Gauss rifle ammo, 40 shots per ton. That's a mouthful. The double bin for the rotary AP AP large bore Gauss rifle. The double bin is 96 shots, and the half bin is 20 shots. There we go. So that concludes the SRM/Gauss rifle ammo guide. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them. I believe next week I'll cover LRM ammo, and I'm thinking I'm just going to group all the autocannon ammo together. So probably do LRMs, MRMs. I'll probably do MRMs and ATMs together. Autocannon ammo, and then mortar ammo. And I think that'll cover all of it. And yeah, I will continue the short series of ammo next week. Until then, have a good one.